Hello and welcome to Clearview Television. We are reaching you live from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. A new lobby group, Redemption Ambassadors of Nigeria, proposes to all-to-run bill to exclude politicians from 70 years and above from the nation's political process. Police Affairs Minister kicks against allowing Nigerians to bear arms for self-defense, saying it will worsen the country's insecurity. Leke Adeboye, son of General Overseer of Redeemed Christian Church of God, tenders unreserved apology for calling some pastors of the church goats. I am Nkiru Obuli. Welcome. Nigerian politicians from the age of 70 years and above jostling for leadership roles at various levels of governance in the country may be in trouble over their political ambitions. A new lobby group, Redemption Ambassadors of Nigeria, run, wants this category of politicians excluded from the political process to pave way for the emergence of younger politicians who it strongly believes will be at alert to their responsibilities in bringing about good governance in the country. At a stakeholders meeting this Friday in Abuja, the convener, Bishop Amakri, said the group will soon forward to the National Assembly a bill titled Too Old to Run for consideration and passage into law.
The success of the Not Too Young to Run campaign, which ultimately led to the enactment of a youth-friendly law that has helped to open the space for youth participation in politics, is the inspiration behind this campaign aimed at capping the age requirement for political participation. And if you look at, and one of the strong arguments we are making here is that if you visit the Civil Service Act, you look at, you see that the benchmark in which any Nigerian will work is either if you attain the age of 65, you just have to retire, or if you have working experience of 30 years in the civil service, you just have to retire. So I think the framers of this act understood that there should be what we call mentorship, and there should be transition. And the quagmire there is that over the time, we are lacking this mentorship in our political, lexicon.
Won't it be necessary for us to make this critical point that indeed we must create a system and parameter to tap into the strengths and the potential that this age range actually offers? So before you use the US to counter the idea of too old to run, we wish to quickly let you know that in the US there is no barrier, especially for people on the bench, and that's a yardstick. In Nigeria, at 70, you must retire.
And if we are to learn, must we take hook, line, and sinker, whatever the West offers us? Can't we set positive trends? So Nigerian youths are rising today to say we are setting a new order, that we are marching in action, that we are saying to those that are too old to run, please vacate the stage. We need fresh blood.
The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, SAN, has not resigned, so says Umar Gwandu, the Special Assistant on Media and Public Relations, Office of the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice. In a statement on Thursday in Abuja, Gwandu said the minister remains committed to discharging his statutory obligations and constitutionally delineated responsibilities in accordance with the provisions of extant laws. According to Gwandu, Malami is grateful to Nigerians for the demonstration of love and the interest shown in him. Gwandu's statement is in reaction to the claim that the minister has resigned from President Muhammadu Buhari's cabinet to pursue his political ambition. Ahead of the general elections, reports had emerged that Malami had publicly declared his interest to become the next governor of Kebbi State. But Gwandu, in a swift reaction, stated that the minister had yet to declare interest to contest for any elective position in the 2023 general elections. He stressed that the declaration to contest for a political position was never a hidden affair or clandestine operation that could be reported as a scoop by a section of the media. Political and crime correspondents, as well as top news editors in Nigeria, returned to the lecture hall in Abuja this Friday to sharpen their professional skills in their task of promoting nation building. It was courtesy of Governor Leke Bello of Kogi State. Clearview TV's Imefonokon, who was at the seminar, reports that the Kogi State Governor and APC 2023 presidential aspirant seized the opportunity to promise to lift 100 million Nigerians out of poverty if elected into office.
The second annual Governor Yahaya Bello Seminar for Political and Crime Correspondent Editors aims at empowering the relevant sections of the local and international media with deeper knowledge on the peculiarities of Nigeria as a nation. The objective is to provide the participants adequate information on critical issues to enable them deliver authoritative reports on the Nigerian political environment as well as crime without harming the essence of the nation's fragile unity.
We chose to engage in this all-important seminar and awareness campaign annually in order that our country will be better. We can't make any meaningful development without partnering with the media, particularly crime reporters, political editors, and correspondents. No government can succeed without the media. However good the government would be, if the media did not carry out fair and just reportage.
Governor Yahaya Bello, a presidential aspirant on the platform of the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC, said if elected into office, he will rid Nigeria of insecurity and urged the media to partner with him to achieve this through exhibiting accuracy and fairness in their reportage.
This insecurity of a thing is not a thing of Mr. President, even though we shouldn't pass buck, because that is why he came on board, or we all came on board. It's a successive failure of various administrations. But you know what? I, as Commander-in-Chief, by the special grace of God, I will ensure every chief executives of the various federating units sit up and do their job.
The President's Nigeria Union of Journalists, Chris Iziguzo, and Nigerian Guild of Editors, Mustafa Issa, pledged their support for the governor.
Your Excellency, you are eliminating poison from Nigeria's political landscape. By bringing all of us together for this 2 days engagement, I believe by the time we go through this, clearly we are going to have a new breed of professionals who will speak language of development, who will speak language of patriotism, who will speak language of Nigeria.
The 2022 second annual Governor Yahaya Bello Seminar for Political and Crime Correspondent Editor had its theme setting the agenda for 2023. Coming ahead of the 2023 general elections in Nigeria, it stressed the need for the media to help shape the nation's political process through their patriotic, professional, and unbiased reportage. Imefonokun, reporting for Clearview Television.
Justice Binta Nyako of the Federal High Court Abuja this Friday struck out 8 of the 15 terrorism and felony charges preferred against the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, by the federal government. Justice Nyako freed Nnamdi Kanu on the 8 counts while ruling on a preliminary objection filed by the IPOB leader. She concluded that counts 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and 14 have not disclosed any offense against the defendants. The judge, however, said counts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, and 15 show some allegations which the IPOB leader, being the defendant, has to answer. Nigeria's insecurity will be worsened if the citizens are allowed to bear arms, so says the Minister of Police Affairs, Mohammed Nengiadi. Answering questions during a media parley in Abuja on Thursday evening, Nengiadi said the government is currently doing all it can to minimize the circulation of firearms among Nigerians and restrict their use to only authorized persons trained to use them and have access to use them. He warned that allowing the use of arms to become an all people's affair will worsen the current security situation in the country. The Police Affairs Minister added that his ministry was doing everything in its capacity to ensure that implementation of salary increment for police officers across the country becomes a reality as soon as possible. The majority leader of the House of Representatives, Ado Dogwa, had last week canvassed that Nigerians should be allowed to bear arms in self-defense, considering the deteriorating security situation in the country. And following the deteriorating security situation in the country, Majority Leader of the House of Representatives, Ado Dogwa, suggested recently that Nigerians be allowed to bear arms in self-defense. Dogwa's suggestion came in the wake of the bombing of an Abuja-Kaduna train by terrorists last week, resulting in the deaths of some of the passengers, while others were either seriously injured or abducted for ransom. The lawmakers' position had reignited the long-standing debate on whether the average Nigerian should be allowed the right to bear firearms in self-defense to ward off criminals fueling insecurity in the country or not. In the first part of the special report, Clearview TV's Gloria Atta sought the opinions of some Abuja residents on the likely effectiveness and implications of such a law in Nigeria.
One of the cardinal responsibilities of the government in any country is to safeguard the lives and property of its citizens. Section 14 of the 1999 Nigerian Constitution, as amended, makes provision for the protection of the citizens as it is essential for the entire economic, social and political progress of the country. However, Nigeria has in the last decade been engulfed in unprecedented amounts of bloodshed, destruction of property and displacement of people from their native homes and places of business. Insecurity has spread throughout the country, causing many of its citizens to now be sleeping with one eye closed and others seeking the next available opportunity to leave the country. Kaduna, Zamfara, Niger, Benue, Plateau, Taraba, Ebonyi, Enugu, Anambra and Nasarawa states are some of the states in Nigeria that have witnessed horrendous killings lately. The general state of insecurity has been blamed on either ethnic, religious or land-motivated considerations. The ugly situation has raised serious questions about the state of preparedness and efficiency of all law enforcement agencies in tackling the crime in the country. This has led to debates among concerned citizens who are desperate to save their loved ones and property from the menace of insecurity. Among them is the majority leader of the House of Representatives, Ado Dogwa, who has called for the enforcement of the law allowing responsible citizens to bear arms for the safety of their lives, families and community.
Nigerians at this moment should be allowed to also take arms. Nigerians must be allowed to take arms in defense of their innocent souls, defend their hard-earned resources and property, because it's like a monumental failure.
Some Abuja residents in an interview with Clearview Television welcomed the call for citizens to bear arms in self-defense. They are certain that possession of firearms will enable ordinary Nigerians repel unprovoked attacks on them and their families.
For everybody to have self-defense is good if you are not using it to other purpose. And the other side is not good. But the situation of the country now we are having, I think I support that motion that everybody should have self-defense protection arms. Just because even at your homes, your doorstep, person will jump to your house and find attempt to kill you. By the time you know you have it, you will not even try it to come.
But does Nigeria have the capacity to effectively implement such a law if it ever comes to light? Some other Nigerians are worried that allowing individuals to bear arms in the name of self-defense could lead to anarchy.
Nigeria as a whole, we have these contemporary challenges of insecurity. You know, the right has not been declared, but certain minority that have access to those firearms are causing menace and destroying our people in our local communities. Talk more of when the right is being declared to every indigenous citizen of Nigerian origin to acquire that. It's going to be worst.
We are not secured already when there is a little, as not enough firearms. Talk more of when everybody will own arms. Do you know that Nigeria is in a situation, in a mood of provocation? Everybody has been provoking. Yes, if you release firearm for everybody, my dear, Nigeria will become no-go area.
In the second and concluding series on our report on the state of insecurity in Nigeria, we shall be taking you through the legal perspectives to addressing the issue at hand. Gloria Atta, reporting for Clearview Television.
Leke Adeboye, the son of the General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, RCCG, Enoch Adeboye, has apologized for describing some of the church's pastors as goats. The senior personal assistant to the General Overseer had, in the wake of the church's Thanksgiving service last Sunday, slammed pastors who preached on the day despite his father's sermon. But in another post on Thursday, Pastor Leke said the comment was not intended as an insult to the pastors. Leke wrote, and we quote, "I wish to use this medium to tender my unreserved apologies for the statement made from my social media handle about some of our esteemed pastors. The disciplinary measure taken by the mission is well received, and this period will be used to reflect and introspect. I wish to crave your indulgence to please forgive my extreme statement, which I wish to emphasize was absolutely not intended to insult or malign. I also wish to apologize profusely to the entire leadership and pastors of our beloved church who might have been hurt by this statement." End of quote. We take a quick break now and bring you more reports when we return. Please stay with us.
Here is GoTV News Sensation on Channel 108. This is the bond between Biscon TV and Clearview TV News. We pay particular attention to women, Abuja, and diaspora Nigeria. Call it the WAD theory. We are also here for the purpose of bringing to you authentic news about events 6 a.m. and 7:30 p.m. every day on GoTV Channel 108 Biscon TV for Clearview TV News.
You're welcome back, and now to our special segment with focus on gender matters, particularly as they relate to women, development issues in Abuja, and diaspora outreach. If you like, call it WAD, meaning Women, Abuja, and Diaspora Matters. A 43-year-old man, Emmanuel Odega, has told a Lagos Domestic Violence and Sexual Offences Court sitting in Ikeja how what he referred to as the Holy Spirit directed him to be having carnal knowledge of his biological daughter. According to the 16-year-old, her father had been having sex with her from the age of 14, and that the sordid affair started when her mother had relocated to South Africa. The teenager further told the court that her father continued to sleep with her after they moved from their location and relocated to a wooden apartment in Bodore area of Aja. On a cross-examination by the defense counsel, Buhari Mamudu, the girl said she had once been raped before her father allegedly had carnal knowledge of her. In his testimony, the second prosecution witness, a forensic examiner at Mirabel Center, Dr. Oyedeji Alagbe, told the court that his findings showed no fresh injuries to the vagina, but repeated forceful vagina penetration. After listening to his testimony, Justice Ramon Oshodi adjourned a further hearing till June 6, 2022. Now, pottery making for traditional use is common in Nigeria among many ethnic groups. Pottery is an ancient craft in Nigeria which is still practiced in most parts of the country. This ancient craft and other popular Nigerian arts and culture have greatly helped in promoting and putting the country on the world's tourism map. In continuation of our series on pottery making and the role of women in this subsector of the nation's economy, we bring to the fore the contributions of the legendary Ladi Kwali, a household name in Abuja, Nigeria's federal capital territory. Do our present-day women have something to learn from Ladi Kwali's exploits as the case of economic empowerment of women gain momentum?
Born in 1925 into a family of potters in Kwali village in Gwari local government area, Abuja, Nigeria, where pottery was an indigenous occupation among women, Ladi Kwali learned pottery making as a child from her aunts using the traditional method of coiling and pitch, which she later refined into her own style as she fabricated everyday containers ornamented with animal iconography. As a local aristocrat, she, after a while, showcased her creative works as home decorations, and her talent was discovered in 1950 by Michael Kadiu, the founder of Abuja's first potter training facility. Ladi Kwali became the first woman to be trained in wheel throwing, glazing, king firing, production of saga, and the use of sleep. In 1954, Ladi Kwali joined the Abuja Potter Center, where she made history as the first Nigerian woman to train in advanced pottery techniques. She fused her traditional style with these innovative methods to craft a hybrid collection of pottery styled with zoomorphic illustrations. Acquiring new skills, Ladi combined the traditional art form with the modern to produce exquisite works that made her popular within and outside Nigeria. She gained recognition for her works in Europe, Britain, and America. Locally, her works were displayed during Nigeria's independence celebration in 1960. In 1963, Kwali was awarded with the Certificate of Member of the Order of the British Empire, MBE. In 1977, she was also awarded an honorary doctoral degree from Ahmadu Bello University in Zaria, and she shared the secrets of her craft with the local community as a university lecturer. In 1980, the Nigerian government from the Cabinet Office of the Federal Republic of Nigeria invested in her with the insignia of the Nigerian National Order of Merit Award, NNOM, which is the highest national honor for academic achievements. Ladi Kwali died at the age of 59 as a national icon in a system where women were shrinked in terms of opportunities. If Ladi's exemplary life is anything to go by, a woman can achieve more in life and the society when supported and charged with the right energy. Hashtag the woman energy matters. Hashtag the woman energy matters.
The chairman, CEO Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, NIDCOM, Leke Adeboye Apologises, says the profiling and detention of Nigerians and other African nationals in detention centers in Poland is highly unacceptable and reprehensible. She stated this in Abuja at the Psychosocial Trauma Clinic for Ukraine returnees organized in partnership with the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons and the Project Victory Call Initiative. Clearview TV's Florence Joshua now completes the report.
Dabire Erua noted that though President Muhammad Buhari had made every necessary arrangement for Nigerians caught up in the war situation to return home, some chose to remain in some countries like Poland. She added that the most appropriate action for Poland to take was to return them to their countries rather than keep them in the torturous detention centers.
But some who went to Poland and refused to come back and are not properly documented are now locked up in detention centers under very inhumane conditions. Now they are being locked up in detention centers because of the color of their skin. The whites are not being locked up in detention centers. This is unacceptable. Everybody should reject it and tell the Polish authorities, release those you put in detention centers. The worst you can do is send them back to their countries.
Commenting on the two-day clinic, The NIDCOM boss said that though it was a preliminary, it would be a continuous exercise in the 6 geopolitical zones of the country. According to her, NIDCOM is also partnering with the Sunshine series to provide a 24-hour helpline for returnees who need counseling. Also speaking, the Federal Commissioner Refugees Commission, Imam Suleiman Ibrahim, stressed the need for special attention to be given to the mental health of returnees and refugees. She said it was in this regard that the Commission remains the focal organ for government for the rehabilitation and resettlement and integration of returnees and refugees caught by crisis. On his own part, the convener of Project Victory Called Initiative, Dr. Bolaji Akinyemi, commended the chairman CEO NIDCOM and the National Commissioner for Refugees and the entire team for the initiative behind the program and applauded both organizations for their immediate response. Dr. Akinyemi stressed the importance for the prompt creation of this program, stating that the trauma has caused mental and social-physiological issues. He further assured that the services provided by the Project Victory Call Initiative will be free and accessible to every returnee with no cost to the government. In his speech, the President Association of Nigerian Students in Ukraine, Fahintola Damilola Moses, applauded President Buhari, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, NIDCOM, NGOs and other government agencies for the prompt response and rescue of the students from Ukraine.
I'd just like to encourage the recipients of these services to take advantage of it. It's available for you. You know, in Nigeria, when we talk about mental health, we think somebody is alone.
The situation was not something easy. The situation was not, it was trauma. The situation was very brutal. It was terrible experiences for most of us. And I just want to thank the people that came to our rescue. I think the first people I'm going to thank is NIDCOM. What happened was for 2 weeks, people were hedged in bunkers where there were no amenities. I'm sure some of us saw videos. We have recordings and footage of how the bunkers looked like. It was practically just a mess. People could not live. At some point, people started getting sick.
Florence Joshua, reporting for Clearview Television.
And that's all on the news, but before we go, a quick recap of our main stories. A new lobby group, Redemption Ambassadors of Nigeria, is pushing for the exclusion of politicians from 70 years and above from the nation's political process. Convener of the group, Bishop Amakiri, says a too old to run bill is on its way to the National Assembly. The Minister of Police Affairs, Mohammed Dingyadi, has warned that Nigeria's insecurity will worsen if the citizens are allowed to bear arms. And we also told you that Leke Adeboye, son of the General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, has tendered an unreserved apology for calling some pastors of the church goats. Now do remember to like us on Facebook, Clearview Television. Follow us on Twitter at Clearview Online. Follow us on Instagram at ClearviewTV_NG. And also remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Clearview TV. Thank you for watching. I am Nkiru Obuli.